Welcome back from the break. Tonight, we're happy to have from the Marist student-run newspaper, The Circle, Alyssa, Jack, and Sarah. Come on out, guys.
Woo!
Coming out tonight. Thank you so much for coming on. Great to meet both of you. Thank you for taking, all of you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your stressful days to sit down and come on and talk. Have you guys felt stressed out so far being back on campus with everything going on?
I have, yes.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of the vibe with The Circle? Is it always how it seems in movies and TV, paper flying everywhere and phones going off?
I would say there's that urgency of there's a deadline, we have to meet it, everybody needs to get together and pool their forces to get this job done. But I would say that we so far have such a great staff that has really come together. Even the freshmen have really shown us how engaged they are and just passionate about writing, and their articles have been great. A long way to go, but
That's amazing. I'm sure having a collaborative team to support you makes it so much easier to get the paper out on time.
yeah. Totally.
Yeah. What's the life cycle of getting a paper out like? Talk to me about how it starts and how it finishes.
So we have a print edition and we're online as well. So for our print edition, we typically try to do one every 2 weeks. So in that time period, we'll run different articles through a bunch of different teams. So we'll have our section editors work with the writers to get their stories up to par, and then they'll hand it to the copy editors who do all the grammar and spelling stuff. And then from there, it will go to the graphic designers. And they'll make it look pretty on paper.
That's awesome.
Hand it back to the copy editors, and then that 2 nights before print comes out is very chaotic, but
I'm sure that's the best feeling in the world once it finally is out and you get to go around campus and place all the
It
papers
really
in.
is. Like, I'm a sophomore, and I know last year they had just brought back like print, like bi-weekly and really regular, and that's important to me because even though print journalism might be on the decline nationwide,
I think we're surprised. I think print media isn't as
exactly.
dead as people may think.
But I would say on a college campus, like, it's so nice to have that, like, that
Yeah.
physical reminder, like, oh, like, let me read what the Circle's doing. And as a writer, there's nothing more satisfying than seeing somebody reading the publication that you've, like, poured so much effort into.
Yeah. Has anyone ever come up to you guys on campus and be like, oh my God, I read that article, or anything like that?
I saw it on a few people's Snap stories last year. There was one article especially got a lot of traction on social media, which is pretty interesting to see.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding, yeah.
That's awesome. What was the article?
It was on, the one I'm talking about is on Marist affordability, and kind of broke down the different socioeconomic groups that we have in our school. So it was pretty hard hitting, a little bit controversial, and it definitely gained some traction.
That's good. Talking about controversy, do you guys feel like you almost have responsibility to write articles that will get people thinking and kind of go off the beaten path of your typical journalistic
I think so.
nature?
Our meeting last night was all about that.
Yeah, tell us about it. What did you guys get into? Do you guys ever get into it about certain debates, or do you guys usually fall on the same page about things?
Yeah, something I've been pushing, I think, recently is definitely getting those hard-hitting stories while still maintaining. We're not a tabloid. We don't want to create unnecessary drama. But
Did you see who was out with who last night?
Yeah, exactly.
The vibe you guys.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be like People's Magazine or like something like that. But
No TMZ,
yeah, we do want to get hard-hitting pieces and really investigate and look beyond what the administration is telling us is what's going on, and try to figure out what is actually going on sometimes. So that's something that's very important to me, and something that takes practice. I think it's hard to question that authority.
It takes a certain amount of courage, like, to go, especially like as an underclassman, and say, like, I want to hold the school accountable for things that it's doing. And no school is perfect, and Marist isn't perfect, though we love it. It is our job to look into those. Like, last night we were talking about how during SGA elections, if you have enough credits as a freshman that you're a sophomore, you can't vote for your freshman class representatives because it's through iLearn, and you are too many credits. And that was a huge issue last year, and some people were like, oh, I'd never heard about that. And we started talking and generating this really valuable dialogue about what is going on around school that doesn't get enough traction, and how we can bring attention to it.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I almost feel like I wish I went to a school that had protests. Like, it'd be cool to go to school in the 70s and be a little bit more outspoken about things. I feel like Marist can sometimes be a little stagnant overall.
Yes.
But can you guys tell me a little bit more about each of the roles you individually play within the Circle team?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the editor-in-chief, so pretty much that's just serves a purpose of being an organizational type role. Just, I guess, making sure the paper gets out, making sure all the other editors are staying on track, all the writers are staying on track.
Right.
but I'll also contribute. I guess it depends on the school, but me as an editor, I do like to still write, so I do contribute content as well. But all of that organizational stuff.
Right. What about you, Jack?
So I'm the co-sports editor for the Circle this year, as I was last semester. Our job is to keep in touch with the important people in the athletic department that are heading each athletic program, and always be on the lookout for stories. We are fortunate to have a plethora of activity on campus here at Marist that always keeps us busy. There's never a shortage of stories, and that's really the great thing about covering these programs is there's so many of them. It's there's never a situation where we say, oh, I'm not sure if we could put out any content this issue. So we enjoy what we do.
That's great. What about you, Sarah?
And I'm the features editor this year, which is super special to me because I actually started in the features section at my high school newspaper. And so coming here and taking on a leadership role has meant a lot. We love covering human interest stories that would be of interest to Marist students. It could be on campus, off campus. We've covered some local restaurants, different like tea talk, which is a cute little
it's great.
tea, there. But the stories that we have coming up this issue are about Jonathan Starr, the author of The Common Read, and how he actually featured Marist students in his book. So we love to make it stories that will engage our Marist community and really just grab their attention.
That's wonderful. You're talking about how you're excited to cover features again in human interest stories throughout all your writing and editing articles. Is there a particular story that stands out in your mind as something that you'll always remember going forward, or something that maybe when you started to write it, it went into a different direction than?
Yeah, for me, I would say writing last year, I wrote a story personally on there's a lot of controversy with the faculty and administration between like professor salaries, I guess, was the main issue, and whether professors should be able to negotiate their salaries. So it was a very big, I think, complex issue to understand for one. And then as an undergraduate to go and try to question different professors and really especially question the administration, who of course would not want to speak on the issue. It was a little bit intimidating, and I think I couldn't get anything wrong. I couldn't get one thing wrong because it was we're trying to gain credibility as a newspaper. And I was serving as the editor too, so a lot kind of for me rode on that, and I think it just kind of taught me the importance of perfecting your stories when it is that controversial.
Do you guys find yourselves being perfectionists in other aspects outside of the paper?
I would say yes,
absolutely. And on deadline, that's tricky because you can't comb through a story a million times, even though I would like to. You need to do the best that you can do. Make sure that its heart is in the right place, it's serving its purpose, and send it out.
That's incredible.
There will always be things when you look back on an issue that, I could have done this better or this, but at the end of the day, when you turn in the product and you feel good about it and the readers feel good about it, that's a good feeling.
And just try to learn through every new experience you have. I'm sure you guys are learning a lot about yourselves through this. Is there anything you can preview for us coming up this semester with the Circle?
This semester at the Circle? Well, I don't want to give anything away.
No spoilers, I guess.
Stay tuned.
Would you guys want to highlight anything?
I mean, I would say there's a lot going on right now that's kind of like in progress on campus when you look at McCann and the renovations going on there, and the continued progress of the medical school conception from just a couple weeks ago.
Super stoked about that.
So there's all sorts of exciting things happening via the administration and around campus that there really shouldn't be a problem for us coming up with content moving forward.
That's incredible. Was it wonderful to get to know each of you. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having us.
And when will the next issue be dropping for Circle?
Next Thursday, October 11th, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Next Thursday. So find it online and on a desk near you around campus.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it. All right, so now following tonight's recording, MCTV is putting on a music festival known as Foxapalooza. Here's a preview of what to look forward to.